Hi everyone, my name is Angie and I want to welcome you back to Angie Uploaded. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Just like this video is an update to a previous video, I will always give updates as available. So while I'm not going to go into the whole process of letting you know what happened with Melissa Lucio, I do have a video that I've already put out. Granted, the look of the video is not my best work, but the story and research are solid. So I will link that video below. You can go check it out and hear the entire story, which will bring us here. Now, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research. Okay, so Melissa Lucio was set to be executed Wednesday, April the 27th. She would have been the first Latino woman to be executed, and the only things that could stop it were Governor Abbott stepping in, or enough evidence for the Texas Department of Justice and Department of Pardons and Paroles to have a new trial. So what has happened today at 1 o'clock, Department of Pardons and Paroles decided that there is enough evidence for a hearing. And in this hearing, they'll see if there is enough reason to move on to a new trial. And that is where we are. So basically, it says that the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals issued a stay of execution for Melissa Lucio and ordered the 138 Judicial District Court of Cameron County to consider new evidence of her innocence in the death of her daughter, Mariah. Now, there are three things that they're looking at. Is Lucio actually innocent? Whether the state presented false testimony at trial, and whether the state hid evidence from the defense. Now, I can tell you it was an election year, and that prosecutor, Armando Villalobos, has actually been imprisoned since this trial for taking money for favorable outcomes in trials, and her actual defense attorney at the time now works for the prosecutor's office. It is being stated that now she did confess, so it's being stated that her confession was coerced, as she was brought in immediately after her daughter Mariah was pronounced dead, and there were no breaks, and they kept on, and eventually she said, "I did it. That was it. Case closed." She goes to trial and receives the death penalty. Now, since then, there was a documentary on Hulu called "The State of Texas versus Melissa." There have been outcries of supporters from Democrats, Republicans. There have also been jurors that said if they had known certain information that they never would have convicted her. So all of these things are coming into play. And just like in the original video, I said just legally, I wasn't sure how they were able to do this. How Governor Abbott wasn't going to not step in and give her clemency. I mean, while I felt like she was guilty of something, and if you'll go watch the video and listen, and even watch the documentary, you'll see why I feel that way. But she's also been in prison since 2008. Now, Melissa is the mother of 14 children, and two of the children she had since she had a set of twins since she's been in prison that had to be adopted out. So I'm not sure where I stand on should she remain imprisoned. But again, legally, I don't see how they can continue with this being a death penalty case. So I kind of felt like that this was coming, whether it was the Pardons and Parole Board or Governor Abbott stepping in, because it has definitely conjured up, a lot of people showing support for Melissa. So I wasn't surprised to hear this news today. Now, Melissa did release a statement, and I'm going to read that to you. And I'm sorry if I'm having to read some of this stuff. I know people will come at me in the comments for reading. But let me just say, this happened at 1 o'clock today, and I do work a full-time job. But I wanted to give you as much accurate information as quickly as possible to follow up with my own video. So, Melissa, I thank God for my life. I have always trusted in Him. I am grateful to the court that has given me the chance to live and prove my innocence. Mariah is in my heart today and always. I am grateful to have more days to be a mother to my children and a grandmother to my grandchildren. I will use my time to help bring them to Christ. I am deeply grateful to everyone who prayed for me and spoke out on my behalf. And that was released immediately after she found out the news that she was getting the stay of execution. So what this stay of execution actually means is that there will be a hearing, and the lower court will review claims that new evidence in Lucio's case would exonerate her, and they will determine whether she should get a new trial. Now, the Texas Board of Pardon and Paroles was expected to deliver its own recommendations today. But this didn't happen because, based on the stay of execution issued by the Court of Criminal Appeals of Texas, the Board of Pardons and Paroles will not be making a clemency recommendation at this time, which means Governor Abbott had been awaiting this recommendation before he could make a decision on granting the clemency or not. So obviously this other turn was made, and so that won't happen. So what we're waiting on now is, first of all, is there enough evidence presented during the hearing for Melissa to receive a new trial? And if she does receive a new trial, we'll have to wait and find the outcome, of that. Guilty, not guilty. If she's guilty, what is she guilty of? And sentence. Will it be time served? Will she remain, on life in prison? Or she could possibly go back to death row. But either way, right now, she will not be facing execution in 2 days. So the Innocence Project, and a lot of her supporters, Kim Kardashian, and like I said, Republicans, Democrats, they're rallying together around her, former jurors. So I guess now it's just a wait and see game on this hearing and possibly new trial. But anyway, guys, I wanted to pop in and share this information with you. I'll leave some links below where you can go read about it yourself. And any new updates that arise, I will pop on as soon as I can and give that information over to you. Anyway, I want to say thank you for watching. If you haven't watched the first video, I have it linked below. Go watch it. It gives you all the information, what led Melissa to this point, and just don't make fun of the actual video itself. The story and the research are solid. But yeah, that's all I've got. So I hope you'll like this video. Please subscribe and ding the notification bell so you'll be notified when I load my new true crime videos once a week, as well as the updates I present as they arise. So anyway, my name is Angie, and I have just uploaded.